This is an introduction to a series that I will be doing titled Hebrew Word Studies, and it's designed to help the English reader learn how to use their Bible and a concordance to find the Hebrew concrete meaning behind the English translations. We belong to a Greco-Roman Western culture. However, the authors of the Bible belong to a Semitic-Hebrew Eastern culture. And these two cultural philosophies are as different as night is from day. Western philosophy focuses on the abstract. Abstracts are concepts and ideas that cannot be expressed or experienced through the five senses. You cannot see, hear, smell, taste, or touch it. Some examples are bless, truth, mercy, spirit. On the other hand, Eastern philosophy focuses on the concrete. These are things that you can see, hear, smell, taste, or touch. Such concepts as kneeling instead of blessing, a firm grasp instead of truth, bowing instead of mercy, breath instead of spirit. Our English translations of the Bible have taken these Eastern concrete concepts and converted them into Western abstract concepts in order for the text to be understood easily from within our cultural perspectives. The drawback to this method of translation is that it erases the original Hebrew cultural perspective of the author and his readers. In order to restore the Hebraicness of the text, we need to do a little investigation, which can easily be accomplished with nothing more than a King James Bible and a Strong's Concordance. Every translation has its strengths and weaknesses, so I'm not recommending one translation over another, but in this series we're going to use the King James because it's readily accessible to most people, and also it's very commonly keyed to Strong's dictionary. Let's take a look at Psalms chapter 9 verse 14. That I may shew forth all thy praise in the gates of the daughter of Zion, I will rejoice in thy salvation. Let's say you wanted to understand that word rejoice from a Hebraic perspective, because rejoice is an abstract. You cannot see, hear, smell, taste, or touch rejoice. So look up the word rejoice in your concordance, and here you'll see that the word rejoice is found 192 times in the King James Bible, and in this concordance it will list every verse where that word is found. The word rejoice is represented with the letter R. Ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God. Next one is ye shall rejoice in all that ye put. And just to the right of this you'll see the verses, and here we see Psalms 9:14, which says, I will rejoice in thy salvation. Now to find the Hebrew word for this, on the far right is the number 1523. You then go to the dictionary, which is usually in the back of the concordance, and you'll find the number 1523, and this will tell you that it's the Hebrew word gul. It's a primitive root properly meaning to spin around. There's our concrete understanding of this word, to spin around. Now if we continue on, under the influence of any violent emotion such as rejoicing or fear. So we find that the Hebrew word gul can be a spinning around in joy or in fear. So now let's take a look at Psalms 9:14 with this new understanding of the word gul. That I may shew forth all thy praise in the gates of the daughter of Zion, I will spin around in thy salvation. Now we can also do this very same study with a program called eSword. This is a free program available at www.e-sword.net. And it comes with a King James translation, as we see here, but it also comes with a King James Version Plus. That plus means that it includes the Strong's numbers for each of the words. So here we have Psalms 9 verse 14, and here's our word rejoice with Strong's number 1523. Now if you double click on that, down at the bottom, you'll see the Strong's dictionary, which you can also download from eSword, and it tells us 1523 is the Hebrew word gul and means to spin around. You can also download the concordance. If we click on that, we get the concordance, which lists every occurrence of this Hebrew word gul. As we can see, it's used 43 times in the entire Hebrew Bible. And then you can look up each one of these verses. In this video series, we're going to take a look at the poetry of the verses. For example, in Psalms 9:14, we have two passages that are paralleled. I may show forth all thy praise, which is parallel with I will rejoice in thy salvation. We're also going to take a look at the vocabulary. The King James includes words like show forth, praise, rejoice, salvation, all abstracts. We're going to look at Strong's to find the concrete meanings, which include to inscribe, to make shine, to spin around, to rescue. And then we're going to take a look at the verse from a Hebraic perspective. I will inscribe all that makes you shine. I will spin around in your rescue. And lastly, we're going to take a look at the Hebrew verse for those who are learning Hebrew and examine the text, dissecting the words, the prefix, suffixes, and the verb conjugations.